Welcome to another learning session, guys. This is Jeffrey Hill. Jeff Hill Speaks. If you are not following me on Instagram, you should. This is going to be posted on YouTube, Facebook, so all on my social media. I actually meant to set up my Instagram, but it's okay. I'll repurpose this content. If you saw my previous video, I talked about a prospecting idea called FORM. F-O-R-M. Now, FORM stands for family, occupation, recreation, money, or message. This can be used for network marketing, it can be used for insurance, it can be used for anything you want to. Maybe you just want to learn how to become more social. Maybe you want to, I don't know, go on more dates. Whatever the thing is, I'm going to teach you a few things today. The first thing I'm going to teach you is the acronym. I'm going to give you a quick overview because today is just about the F part of FORM. Now, I've done this speech in Toastmasters, and one of the questions that I often ask is, how many of you would identify with being socially awkward? Most people will probably say, hey, that's me. And if you don't know what social awkward means, you go to an event and you feel a little bit out of place. You don't really know how to go start that conversation. You're more maybe just a fly on the wall. Maybe you sometimes get intimidated because you see people, or you have friends that just walk into a crowd, and before you know it, they've made friends with everybody while you're still trying to figure out how just to introduce yourself. Well, in the video, in the FORM series, I talk about how to do that. Now, the F is family or where you from. Now, the way you open these conversations can be different. One of the things I always say is you want to compliment somebody. Nice shoes, nice hat. Oh, that shirt is nice. Where'd you get it from? Something like that that can break down the barrier and at least get them to respond to something. Once their response happens, maybe you have a little back and forth conversation about whatever the compliment was. Maybe they compliment you back, and then you're in a conversation. Now, here's where the magic happens. F, family or where are you from? So let's say I'm at a networking event and I bump into my friend Bob, or somebody that I don't know the name. I might be at the bar grabbing a drink and I notice somebody, hey man, listen, that's a cool tie, man. Where do you get your ties at? I've been looking to maybe step my tie game up just a little bit. That's a really cool tie. Where'd you get it from? I might reply, oh, listen, man, my wife gave this thing to me for our 3rd anniversary. I have no idea where she got it. Oh, married. Oh, awesome, man. So you and your wife live around here? Like, you know, how's the married life treating you? Now, again, family. Sometimes people volunteer information right out of the gate that you can categorize in your mind to turn around and use it in part of the conversation to keep it flowing. Now, the more you do this, the more you'll learn how and when and what type of questions to ask. And again, sometimes that can be dependent on your end goal. I've seen people who are working on building their confidence. They might just pop up and have an all-out conversation with somebody with no intention, just to lighten the mood. And sometimes when you do that person might think you're hitting on them, but when you walk away and don't ask for their number, then they're like, oh, okay. Because sometimes somebody always has an angle. So if you feel like, well, Jeff, man, I don't know if I can do that yet and go through the whole thing, just try a little bit. Try it bit by bit. Maybe for the next few days, you only talk about the F. Now, the conversation can go a lot of different places, right? But the more you do that, you've started to build up more questions centered around only asking about family or where you're from. You learn by repetition. And sometimes this stuff is going to work so good, you're going to stop doing it. Trust me. I teach a lot of people a lot of different things, and it's inevitable. I've always gotten this. Man, yeah, when I was doing it, man, that stuff was working. And then I stopped doing it and it stopped working. No brainer. However, sometimes common sense isn't that common. But let's go back into it. So I see Bob. Hey, Bob. Nice shirt, nice tie, whatever. Maybe Bob has a name tag on. That's how I know his name is Bob. Because I know some troll is going to see this like, well, how'd you know his name was Bobby? Whatever. Stick to the message, guys. Pay attention. See a guy, girl, whatever, introduce myself. Hey, how you doing? If she has a ring, oh, that's a gorgeous ring. Listen, can I ask you a few questions about this real quick? And again, I'm acknowledging the fact that she has a ring. Cool, I understand that, you know, you may be engaged, maybe it's a promise ring, I don't know. But for me, I'm single. So the idea behind ring shopping is just Seems like such a fun process, and not such a fun process for me. But I know it's something that's gonna have to happen, right? So again, my goal is to loosen up the communication and break the ice somehow. And I might talk about the ring. So what kind of ring is that? I don't know, is it a princess cut? I've heard of this and that. Like, you know, how did you pick that particular ring? Is that a style that you always liked? I don't know. My goal is to ask something that can lead to a conversation. And oftentimes in sales, we talk about asking closed-ended versus open-ended questions. Closed-ended is typically yes or no. I see a ring. Hey, are you married? Yes. Okay, end of discussion. Versus, oh, that's a nice ring. So apparently you said yes. How did he propose? Now it's open-ended. I ask a question, and that question needs to be evolved over time. It's not just a yes or no type thing. Now, let's say I'm traveling and I'm on a vacation or something like that. Well, the where are you from question can be really important because typically we're traveling. I don't know where that person's from. Hey man, how you enjoying vacation? Oh, where you guys from? Really? I'm from Arkansas. Man, long way away from home, guys. Yeah. So how long have you been on vacation? What all have you done so far? Asking about something. Then, depending on if I'm in line with this person, so what do you guys do back home? Remember, family, occupation, recreation, money, and message. But again, I'm just giving you a preview. See how I led in from where are you from to occupation. What do you guys do when you're back home? A lot of times people want to write down every single question. Guys, the more you practice this stuff, the more it's just going to come out. I remember being in seminars and things like that, and I'm like, I need to know exactly what you said because I need to say exactly like that. And sometimes that's not always the thing. You want to get to the point where this is natural and conversational to you, not so scripted. Anytime somebody gives you a script, sure, it's a guideline for you to follow, but you want to get away from following just the script and learn how to make the script your own. Learn how to adopt the characters. Think like an actor. They're going to have the words on the paper, but again, they need to bring it to life with emotions and theatrics and facial expressions and all that. Now, sometimes there's cues in the script, but again, you get the cue. You get to be your own director, your own actor, your own cast member. You are literally the casting director. Who do you want in your movie? All right, so think about that when you're out prospecting. Go observe the room. So sometimes instead of coming in and just popping around and meeting different circles, maybe you want to show up and just observe who else is popping around meeting people, who's giving out the car left and right. Now, that can be a bit of a blessing and a curse because I've seen people who are maybe new to networking just think, I need to give out a whole bunch of beers and cards and collect a whole bunch of them. And there's nothing wrong with that because you have collected, but you hadn't really built any rapport or relationship with people. If you're just going to, hey guys, here's 3 of you guys here, here's my card. You guys got a card? Okay, yeah. You're doing that kind of stuff. If you want prospecting to work in your favor, you got to learn how to build relationships. You got to learn how to build rapport with people. And again, there's a lot of great books out there you can read about that. But initially, you want to be able to capture their attention somehow, typically within the first 15 seconds to first couple of minutes, depending on the setup. For me, sometimes it's a challenge. If I see a table full of ladies, I'm like, I wonder what it would take for me to be able to jump in the middle of a conversation, introduce myself to these people, and figure out who is who. And I've done it before. I remember sitting next to one of my frat brothers, and we were out one night, and it was a table of people celebrating the birthday. Now, there wasn't cake. I don't even think I saw the girl who had the birthday thing on until I was introduced to her. So I get back, and I asked the table, like, oh, it must be somebody's birthday. You guys like you're having fun. And then, of course, birthday girl's like, yeah, it's my birthday. And then we jump into conversation like that. Awesome, man. Okay, this is a whole bunch of you guys. Where you guys from? Are you all from the same place? And I'm right in the from. Now, I can also ask, all right, so are you here by yourself? Who's a sibling of this one? Who's looking out? But again, all I'm doing is entertaining a lot of people with the same type questions. So think about it. If it's a table full of 10 people, depending on the energy, I ask the question, so where are you guys from? Now, that many people have to go back. And it's okay if I don't remember them. It's more impressive if you do, but I might even make a joke out of that. Okay, all right, stop, wait. I don't know what you just said, but let's go back over it again. Or if I mess it up, charge to my head, not my heart. Whatever the case may be, something to keep the mood kind of light, right? Now, when prospecting, it's a lot of finesse in there. So sometimes you got to read the energy of that person to see if you maybe stayed too long, if you need to go ahead and leave, that kind of thing. You could always leave, but maybe open leave the door open for you to come back. Hey, I'm going to bounce around, introduce myself to a few more people. I'll come back by and check on you ladies or fellas in a minute, but I got to go. And I step away. Now, maybe you get to get it back around them or not, right? I don't know what your end goal is, but that's going to help determine what you're doing from a prospecting standpoint. So let me recap this again. Family, occupation, recreation, money, or message. The F part. Married, kids, where you from, have you guys always lived here? If you were to move away from here, what would you move to? What's one of the top places you would love to live? Oh yeah? Tell me about that. The whole idea behind this is to keep them talking. Because most of the time we think whoever's talking the most has the power. No, it's in this, it's whoever's listening the most has the power. Because if you can keep them talking and keep them engaged and keep them answering questions about themselves, you're learning a lot of information about them. And oftentimes when you get really good at this, by the time you're done, people are like, man, that was a really interesting person. Because most of the time people they've not engaged people like that before. So you can leave a lasting impression on somebody by asking enough questions. Now, again, if you're prospecting and you have an end goal in mind, remember the acronym. Family, occupation, recreation, money, or message. I'm going to be teaching you some more stuff, but again, that's all I want to do for right now. It's just over 12 minutes long. Hope you guys got a lot of value out of that. Make sure you share, like, tag. If you are an entrepreneur, business owner, or if you ever wanted to know how to network and how to get more leads, follow me on Jeff Hill Speaks on Instagram. Of course, if you've seen this on YouTube, Jeff at the Hill Financial Group, or the Hill Financial Group is the page name. I might change that to Jeff Hill Speaks. Hadn't really quite figured it out yet, but again, content is going to be there. Share, share, subscribe, like, comment, post. Let me know some of your favorite prospecting methods, and if you've started to use this kind of stuff, how it's been for you so far. Make sure you stay tuned and be on the lookout for the next video, which is I'm going to be talking about the O, occupation.